Okay, let's talk about dreams. You know, those weird, sometimes wonderful, sometimes terrifying movies our brains play at night? But what if I told you that some of those dreams might be more than just random stories? What if they could actually be an early warning system for your health? It's a wild idea, so let's get right into it.
I know. It sounds a little out there, right? Like something straight out of a movie. But this isn't just some fringe theory. It's a question that serious scientists and doctors have been asking for a long, long time. The core idea is this. Could your mind, when you're asleep and the world is quiet, be picking up on subtle signals from your body? Signals that you completely miss when you're awake and busy.
And get this, it's not just speculation, there's actual research. A study from 2015 is pretty mind-blowing. It found that a number of women with breast cancer had these incredibly vivid, really emotionally charged dreams about tumors or something invasive before they had any idea they were sick, before any diagnosis. That one finding alone tells you, hey, maybe there's something really important going on here.
This is the big question, right? How on earth could a dream actually know about a hidden illness? Let's start digging into the evidence and see how this could even be possible.
So those breast cancer cases, that's really just the tip of the iceberg. The most solid, well-researched example is something called REM sleep behavior disorder, or RBD. This is where people literally act out their dreams, thrashing, kicking, yelling, and it turns out this isn't just a weird sleep thing. It's now seen as a super strong early sign for diseases like Parkinson's, sometimes showing up years before any of the classic symptoms. And on top of that, you have tons of stories from doctors and patients about dreams that just, well, they seem to point directly to a specific hidden problem.
Okay, so how do we explain all this? What's the science behind it? Well, to crack this code, the first thing we have to understand is that our brain is basically a two-channel radio, constantly listening to two very different kinds of signals. So imagine your brain has two channels. Channel 1 is for the outside world. It's loud, it's high frequency, it's all the sights and sounds and things you touch. It's what grabs your attention all day long. But then there's Channel 2. This is your internal broadcast system. It's coming from your organs, your muscles, your hormones. It's usually a much quieter, slower signal, more like background static. It's the stuff that shapes your overall mood, gives you that gut feeling. Now, here's the really important part. The volume on those two channels isn't always the same. In fact, the balance between them shifts dramatically. And the key moment this happens, it's when we go to sleep or when we get sick. Let's take a look at what that change actually looks like. Okay, so when you're awake, walking around, doing your thing, it's all about the outside world. About 75% of your brain's attention is focused externally. And that makes total sense, right? You've got to dodge traffic, talk to people, get work done. Meanwhile, those internal signals from your body, they're just kind of whispering in the background, only getting about a quarter of the brain's attention. But then you go to sleep, and everything flips. The volume on the outside world gets turned way, way down. And suddenly, those quiet internal signals from your body, they get their chance to shine. The playing field is leveled. It's now a 50-50 split. For the first time all day, the whispers from inside your body are just as loud as anything else. And this is where it gets really interesting. What happens when you're actually sick, when there's something wrong inside? Well, now those internal signals aren't just whispering anymore. They're practically shouting. Look at this. The balance can completely reverse. Now it's the internal signals that are dominating the conversation, taking up 70% of the brain's bandwidth. This is the perfect storm for those body signals to force their way into your dreams. So, okay, we've established that the signal from the body can get a lot louder at night. But that's just raw data. How does a physical sensation turn into a symbol, a story, in a dream? How do we decode that? The answer lies in a really cool concept called interoception. It's a bit of a sciencey word, but all it really means is your brain's ability to sense what's happening inside your body. Think of it as your brain's built-in listening device. You've got specific parts of your brain, like the insula, that are constantly monitoring everything. Your heart rate, inflammation, digestion. You know that gut feeling you get? That's interoception in action. So here's how the whole process seems to work. Step 1. A really subtle, long-term signal starts up somewhere in your body. Maybe it's a bit of inflammation, a tiny tissue change. It's way too quiet for you to notice during the day. Step 2, you go to sleep. The world gets quiet, and now your brain's interoception system can finally hear that signal loud and clear. Step 3, your dreaming brain does what it does best. It's a master storyteller. It takes that raw physical signal and weaves it into a narrative, using your own memories and emotions to create a symbol for it. Let's make this super concrete. Imagine someone has a heart condition that's causing some very subtle chest pressure. During the day, they probably don't even feel it. But in a dream, the brain doesn't just create a dream about chest pain. No, it's more creative than that. It might translate that physical pressure into a terrifying dream about being crushed by something heavy, or being trapped in a small space, or suffocating. The feeling of pressure is real, but the story the dream tells is a metaphor for it.
Okay, so we've looked at the stories, we've looked at the science behind it, but let's bring this home. What does all of this actually mean for you and me? When you wake up from a bizarre dream tonight, what should you do with it? And here's the bottom line, the most important takeaway. Your dreams are not a diagnosis. Let me say that again. They are not a diagnosis. They're not some magic crystal ball. A better way to think about them is as a reflection. They're like a symbolic mirror that shows you what your brain is hearing from your body once all the noise of the day has finally died down. So, what's the practical advice here? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It might be worth paying attention to dreams that are really unusual, or dreams that keep coming back again and again, especially if they seem to focus on one part of your body. Now, this is not a reason to panic, absolutely not, but it is a good reason to maybe not ignore that nagging little physical symptom you've been brushing off. The dream isn't the doctor, it's just a prompt, a little nudge to pay closer attention, and, of course, to talk to a real medical professional if you're concerned. So, when you think about it, your dreams aren't a crystal ball. They can't tell you the future. But maybe, just maybe, there's something even more important. Maybe they're an invitation to just quiet down, tune out all the noise from the outside world for a little while, and listen. I mean, really listen to the quiet wisdom that's coming from inside your own body.